We have an incredible bit of news. The White House called a Trump rioter on January 6th. Uh-oh. Why would that be the case? Well, let's see if we can figure this out. But this is blowing the lid off of yet another part of the Trump riot investigation. There's a CNN article that summarizes this quite well. Listen to this. On January 6th at 4:34 p.m., a cell phone registered to a Capitol rioter who stormed the Capitol got a phone call from a White House landline. Okay, CNN has obtained the records. Other news outlets have looked at the records. This happened. Okay, White House calls a Trump rioter on January 6th. The call lasts 9 seconds. Who placed the call from the White House? Well, we don't know right now because the White House has landlines and many people work at the White House. So we don't know. Could have been anybody who works at the White House. Okay. According to the records, the call came from a 202 number, which is the publicly available number for the White House. Doesn't show a specific extension, so we don't know whose phone it came from. The call was placed in the late afternoon, right after Trump did the video message saying to the rioters, "We love you, but go home." It's unclear, CNN writes, what, if any, connection exists between the White House and the rioter, including whether the call was made by mistake and whether the call went to voicemail. Mistake. That'd be quite a coincidental wrong number. Quite a coincidental wrong number. What else do we know about it? Well, we know who the call was made to. The cell phone belonged to a 26-year-old Trump supporter from Brooklyn, New York, named Anton Lunnick, who traveled to D.C. the night before with two friends, according to multiple sources familiar with the investigation. The three men attended the Stop the Steal rally on the Ellipse, and then with hundreds of others, entered and illegally demonstrated inside the Capitol. They were charged. They pleaded guilty in April, and they were sentenced earlier this month. All three declined to comment to CNN. According to multiple sources, Lunnick says he doesn't remember getting that 9-second call from the White House and says he doesn't know anyone who worked in the Trump White House. The phone call wasn't mentioned in Lunnick's sentencing or in any court documents, and a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. has declined to comment. So what exactly does this mean? And there are a number of questions here. Number one, how do you not remember a phone call from the White House? You didn't get the call? Or you got it, but you don't remember what was said, or they left you a voicemail, or what, you have no memory of it? That's different than I never received such a call. I have no memory of it. That's really weird. It's obviously very difficult to believe that it's a random coincidence. There's a riot going on. Trump says to the rioters that he loves them, but it's time to go home. One of the rioters is at the Capitol. And the White House, it's like a butt dial. Someone just happens to accidentally call the phone of the rioter. Doesn't really make sense. So it obviously leads to speculation. Could it be, well, someone at the White House was in touch with this rioter, meant to call the rioter on their cell phone, but realized they were using the White House line, and so they quickly hung up? Is that a possibility? Again, we're left to speculate because the official explanations so far don't make absolutely any sense. This particular rioter, Lunnick, was seen in the background of an individual named Baked Alaska's live stream from Jeff Merkley's office on January 6th. They had broken into Jeff Merkley's office. Lunnick, you can see in the background of a Baked Alaska live stream. Is it possible someone at the White House was watching the stream, saw Lunnick, was like, oh, that's the guy we've been in touch with, or I know that guy or something? The other speculation is Lunnick agreed to cooperate to some degree for a lighter sentence. Is that related to why there seems to be no comment from anybody and not much of a desire, seemingly, to get to the bottom of who it is from the White House that called Lunnick? Only questions right now. But the fact that someone from the White House called this guy on the day of the riots raises all new sets of questions about the connections between the Trump White House and the rioters, not generally, right? Of course, you can say, well, generally, they were like, we'll make a speech and we'll say, let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and some of these people are going to follow. Okay, fine. We knew that. This is about the specific connection between an individual at the White House and this particular rioter on that exact day. Will we ever know what happened? Yeah, I think we actually will. I think it's likely that we will get to the bottom of this. Multiple news agencies working on it, but it doesn't look good. What do you believe is the explanation for this phone call? Let me know. You can find me on Twitter at dpackman. The David Pakman Show's longest running sponsor is Blinkist, the app that takes thousands of nonfiction books, boils each of them down into an explainer you can read or listen to in 15 minutes. Blinkist also condenses episodes of popular podcasts into 15-minute explainers. I've been using Blinkist for years to supplement the books I read. I love reading. I read all the time. But there's even more books I don't have time to read, and you can often find those nonfiction books on Blinkist and consume the entire thing in 15 minutes. My favorite new feature on the app is Blinkist Connect, which lets you share your Blinkist premium account with someone else. You basically get 2 accounts for the price of one, and then you can also share Blinkist books and podcasts between users. I have a joint Blinkist premium account with my girlfriend. Blinkist Connect lets us sync together what books and podcasts we're listening to on Blinkist, sparks many interesting discussions. We just listened to Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, the new version. Robert Greene, super interesting writer. Find his books fascinating. You can try Blinkist free for 7 days and get 25% off a premium subscription at Blinkist.com/David Pakman. The link is down below.